Hello again, everybody. I'm Rich Schreier. It's Wildcat Wednesday here on the home of the University of Arizona Athletics. This is Wildcats Radio 1290. Thank you for joining us. On Wednesday, we celebrate the traditions of Arizona athletics, from Bear Down Gym to the tailgating on the mall and everything in between. We look back with some of the great Wildcats of all time, and we're going to go back in the Wayback Machine. And we had Reggie Gary on for Wildcat Wednesday a while ago. Thought it'd be appropriate because he's going to talk about when you make that jump into the NBA. We'll talk with him about that coming up here in just a little bit because, of course, we are on the precipice. Did I get that word right? Precipice?
Yes.
Is this the penultimate day before the draft? Or am I being redundant there? This is the penultimate day of the NBA draft, the day before the day.
The day before the day.
Right?
Yeah.
I think that's a dumb word. People use it all the time. The penultimate game of the season. Why don't you just say it's game 161 of the baseball season? Tomorrow's the last game of the year. The penultimate game of the National Football League. Okay, it's the AFC and NFC championship games. Stop using big words that make you sound smarter than you really are.
Yeah, but the word sounds cool, though, doesn't it?
No.
You always want to say the words that sound cool.
Okay, you use it in a sentence. By the way, that is my my partner in crime, my compadre, my amigo, my kababayan. That's Filipino for my friend, my brother, Dragon Ball. Hello, Dragon Ball.
Hello there, Rich.
Okay. Use the word penultimate in a sentence.
It was the penultimate meal before the all-you-can-eat buffet at the Sizzler.
See, you don't even know how to use it in the sentence. What was your major in college?
Journalism?
Yeah, you're like a wordsmith, right?
Broadcast journalism. Thank you very much.
Oh, well then.
Believe me, I had to go ahead.
You just wasted 4 years.
I had to go to broadcast journalism because they wouldn't let me take the written journalism courses because they couldn't read it.
Oh, because you got the world's worst handwriting.
It's pretty bad. I was very lucky to be.
You look like you write with your feet.
I'm very lucky that I was brought in around the time of the typewriter.
Can you write cursive? Is your cursive worse than your printing?
My cursive.
Because, folks, I will show you right here his writing. I'm showing everybody on the stream. Can you get that right there?
That's a little bit phased out there. Also, you're just showing initials, so at that point you're not really seeing the full force.
Okay, here I'll show everybody on the stream. That's your handwriting right there.
I think it's okay. I can read it.
I've learned how to read it because, again, it looks like you write with your feet. Anyway, thanks for joining us, everybody. Today's program brought to you by PGA Tour Superstore. We got pretty exciting stuff coming up with PGA Tour Superstore coming up here in the next couple of weeks, so we'll make an announcement that's going to be pretty cool for those of you that are big golf fans here in town. But until then, we got to get to Wildcat Wednesday. We got a lot of things to talk about, including we got to update everybody in the Sweet 16 of Tucson's Top Cat bracket. Have you voted yet?
Yes, I have.
I have not voted yet. We might vote live here on the air today, or better yet, I'll let you decide who I should vote for.
Ooh.
In Tucson's Top Cat Challenge.
Paying for votes now, are we?
Yes, I'm not afraid. Listen, I will go. I will Dan Levitard you all day long.
Oh no!
Remember when Dan Levitard sold his Cooperstown vote?
That's a sad thing, isn't it?
He sold it to Deadspin.
Something like that.
Yeah, just to make a mockery of the whole thing. So I will listen. You want to send us a pizza? I'll give my vote for a pizza. I'm not proud. I'll do it. I'll totally sell out for a pizza today.
Is that what you're craving today? Yesterday it was Waffle House, and now today it's going to be pizza.
And by the way, just a quick update for you. I got home. I whined a little bit.
Uh-huh.
I whined quite a bit when I got home.
I fully expected you to.
I whined quite a bit. It wasn't pretty. And I got my way. We didn't drive all the way to Waffle House. We went to Denny's instead, so I still got breakfast.
Okay.
And she just looked at me. She goes, "You're such an idiot." My wife's favorite saying in the world is she looks at me, she shakes her head, she rolls her eyes, and she goes, "You're such an idiot." But what does that say about you? You married me.
I mean, look, I'm never going to judge a person by their life choices, and I'm certainly not going to judge Liz on hers. So
no, please be judgmental.
No, I choose
We
not
already
to be.
decided you're petty. Be judgmental
I
as
can
well.
be petty. I don't need to be judgmental, though. Those are two things that you don't need to be in life to be happy.
Okay, I'm happy. I got what I wanted.
Okay, fair
There
enough.
you go. All right, let's get after it. Let's see what's rattling around in my big old head today.
Warning. The following segment might trigger some listeners, and 1290 does not take responsibility for the following content.
What the hell is going on?
It's time for the list as we explore the sick, twisted mind of our host, Rich Herrera,
And that's when things got bad.
and the list of things he is thinking about in that huge size 8 chrome magnum head of his.
Look at the size of that boy's head. That's like an orange on a toothpick.
You're gonna give the boy a complex.
Well, that's a huge noggin. Has its own weather system.
That is true. You've noticed that back on my side of the building, it's a lot more humid and hot near the door that I come in.
Yeah, you come in right straight from the door right to your office.
No,
practically.
there's something going on with the air conditioning, and our side of the building is a lot more hot and humid. And I'm not having a great day today. I spilled all over myself at lunch. So I actually had to go, and I was late getting in here with you.
Right.
Because I had to go home and change.
Oh, man.
It was one of those days.
So what did you spill, though? Was it?
Just Mexican food.
Okay. So it wasn't
Soda
a
and
drink.
Mexican food.
Oh,
No,
so
it was the
the whole
everything.
thing, huh?
Yeah.
Oof.
And I dressed I actually was dressing up for the program today. I had on a nice dress shirt that was actually pressed, and I was wearing long pants for the first time in forever. And I was wearing real shoes to work, not Vans or Nikes. I was actually dressed professionally today. And then
And of course, the shoes had laces, I would assume. Yes.
they did. They did. They were very nice. I think they're Cole Haan. I mean, I went all out. I was
That's a
trying to
shame.
impress you today, Dragon Ball. It just didn't work because I spilled all over myself. Anyway, here's what's going on, rattling around in my big old head today. Sweet 16 of our brackets for Tucson's Top Cat. We'll go through the brackets for you coming up here in just a bit, and then we'll ask you to vote. The Sweet 16 that we have right now, to be candid with you, is going to take you a little bit of time. We're going to walk through our brackets and talk about why you should take and who you should see advance. I'm going to tell you what. Let me tell you something here, Pally. Are you listening, Dragon Ball?
I'm listening.
Whoever wins is going to be legit.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I used to do this when I lived down south, and people talked to me about the greatness of the SEC. I said, you know what? If you guys were really that good, you'd be called the Conference of Champions like the Pac-12. 'Cause I'm a total Pac-12 homer.
Right.
And I told, and this is the God's honest truth. You could take out the top 10 athletes of the Pac-12 conference, and we would still dominate everybody else around the country. If you took out the top 5 all-time Wildcats, you still would be able to crush everybody. You're still going to have somebody that's going to be awfully impressive when you look around at Bruckheimer, Kerr, Eller, and the rest of our number 1 seeds. They're all impressive.
This is a situation where, looking at the matchups we have today in the bracket, you could see the lower seeds, quote unquote, winning in all of them.
There's
and
a
it would
couple lower seeds that have upended folks in our bracket.
And if they won, you wouldn't be that surprised because
No.
they're still impressive selections.
And I will tell you this. It's up to you, Tucson. You guys get to vote. Go to WildcatsRadio1290.com, WildcatsRadio1290.com to vote today because we're getting down to the Sweet 16. Do I look tired on the stream? I'm a little tired.
No.
I didn't sleep well last night.
Oh, no.
Now,
Too much greasy hash browns?
that was one because I had double an order of that. And then
Oh,
my wife
boy.
said, they already have butter on that toast. I go, I don't care. This went all out. I'm like, about 4 in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was up early because Riggs, my son, has 4 more finals.
Oh, here's hoping. Here's
Here's
hoping that those
hoping.
going.
Here's hoping. And one of the tough ones, like he took dry cargo and he put 2 things that explode next to each other, so he had to redo his last project.
Oh, jeez.
That's what you teach when you go to a maritime school. But he had physics 2 this morning, and I'm giving myself the sign of the cross right now and saying another little prayer. So he took it, and I try to pass things along. Like, one of the reasons we do the Wildcat Wednesday when we talk to the coaches, I actually get good coaching advice, good parenting advice
Right.
from the coaches. So one of the things that we get from Jim Anderson all the time is you're more prepared than you think you are. Because when you go into a test or you have something big, presentation, whatever it is, you panic and go, and your mind goes blank because you stop breathing, you stop thinking. So I kind of pound that into his head. You know what? When the time comes, you're more prepared than you think you are. Caitlin Lowe's Champions Adjust. And a couple other things that we tell them all the time. So he had physics 2 this morning.
Physics is not one of his stronger suits.
No, last physics test he's going to get mad. Can I tell people what he got?
I mean, you've said it before already on the air.
He got a 38.
Ooh.
And he has to pass this class to stay in school. So he's been studying his butt off for the last week, studying office hours, taking old tests, retaking tests, mock tests, whatever he can, tutors, doing everything he can. And he took the test. So yesterday he had another tough test. It was terrestrial navigation. And he calls, he goes, Dad, I'm like, you know what? You need another voice. So you know what I did? I had him call Brett Boone. And Boone said, listen.
To be fair, that's a person you want to talk to.
So Boone reminded him, when you get in those big situations, put your pen down, close your eyes, and hold your breath. And keep holding it. And keep holding it. And keep holding it. Until you can't breathe anymore, until you feel like you're going to pass out. Don't take another breath. Keep holding your breath. Then finally, when you let it out, if you do it right and it's such an intense holding your breath, the only thing you'll think of is, oh my God, I want to breathe. And all those negative thoughts go out of your head. So he did that. So he did yesterday. He did well yesterday. He called me today. He said, Dad, I think I'm going to pass. I think I'm going to get, he needed a 50 or above in order to get passing grade.
I don't want
way to set those standards, Herrera.
I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but the thing was that every time I thought I did well on a test, that was when I came away with like a middling B, and that was like the lower level for me.
So now I was tossing and turning and worried about him and everything else, being a dad, and now we got to wait for the grade. But I told him, I said, son, as long as you gave it your best shot and you worked your tail off and you did everything you can, I don't care what the results are. As long as you busted your butt and you gave me your best shot, that's all I care about. And now I got to sit and wait.
Now you got to wait, though. That's the tricky part.
All right, so that's why I'm a little tired today. Because I was up like 4:30, like, what time are you taking your test? He goes, Dad, I'm still asleep. Leave me alone. All right, what else am I going to tell you about today? Actually, talking about sports, we're one day away from the draft. Ben Mathurin and Dalen Terry are projected first rounders. It's pretty much consensus all the way around. NBA.com both have them as they go through all the NBA draft nicks. And again, I don't believe in mock drafts. I really don't. Do you?
I will.
I think there's too many of them. I think there's too many people that do them that aren't that informed.
Yeah, I go ahead and I dabble every so often in the mock drafts, depending on what the sport is. I mean, the baseball mock drafts are impossible. I don't even know where to begin with those. But like football, the NFL mock drafts, I'll do. NHL sometimes I'll get into it if I know a lot of the upcoming, like the kid from Michigan was a huge one. I think it was like 2 years ago.
Nerd.
Yep. And
no, not basketball. The kid. You
right. No, I knew I was the nerd in that situation. Okay. But NBA ones I always feel are very, very interesting only because you want to draft for need, but everybody drafts the best available player. And you should in the NBA.
Well, you should. But the thing that because I've been inside the war room before.
Yes.
I've actually sat there with scouts and front office people. And, like when you watch draft day, when they get the card, we're going to turn in the ticket. I've been there when you're sitting around, and it's kind of fun. There's a lot of snacks. Oh, there's a lot of snacks. There's a ton of snacks and drinks.
Take Fonte Mac no matter what.
There's a lot of food, a lot of drinks, and a lot of sitting around. And then you get the scouting director. This is in baseball. Scouting director, general manager next to him. Then you've got the farm director off to the side, and then you've got all the national cross checkers. Then all the scouts are sitting there, and I've been able to be in the war room for two different organizations. Billy Bean let me come in Oakland, and Andrew Friedman let me come in Tampa Bay. One time they actually called me because they were going to draft somebody they kept talking about, and they go, "All right, kid, here you go," which is kind of cool. They took somebody that I was talking up, so it made me seem like I was pretty smart. But a lot of it's just it's trying to anticipate what's going to happen next, because I'll have my card with 5 names on it, and then as soon as one of those guys gets picked, I dump that card, or that magnet in this case. I dump that magnet and I grab another one, and I have the top 5 that I have sitting out there. So it's not necessarily as clean and easy as you would think in a mock draft. Like, I know Vontae Mack no matter what. I got Vontae Mack and 5 other guys over there just in case one of those guys gets taken before my guy. And very rarely did I see groans like, "Oh, somebody got Vontae Mack." They knew. They were sitting there telling jokes, waiting for it. And then as you get within 2 or 3 picks, then everybody goes, "Okay, do we got the names we want? All right, great." It's kind of a pipeline that's kind of put out that way. And then they go back, and then the one thing I thought I would hear more of, catcalling. When somebody picks somebody, like, "Oh, why'd you take that?" I didn't hear that. It was kind of scientific, and everybody kind of knew the flow of what they were going to get.
Right. And again, I think it's already been very interesting going into this NBA draft. Dalen Terry's level of confidence going into this is very impressive.
I will tell you this. I'll tell you this. I have this for the next hour. He is now jumped up to CBS has him number 17.
Yeah, he could.
We were talking about a late second rounder when he first said, I'm gonna put my toe into the draft. Mm-hmm. His stock is driven up exponentially. Then it puts pressure on everybody else. But the other part is, I don't know how much the media pressure gets to the guys inside the draft room, because I didn't see any of that. Albeit it's a baseball draft that I was in, I really didn't see any of that. I've asked general managers that before. Mark Dominic, who used to run the Bucks, I've asked him about that, and he was like, we'll pay attention a little bit, but we have to stay focused internally on what we're going to look at. So 1 day away from the draft, 3 Wildcats are going to get picked coming up tomorrow. Benedict Mathurin is going to be a top 10. Dalen Terry is going to be a top 20, and now it looks like Christian Koloko is going to be beginning of the second round. That's a huge day for the Arizona Wildcats. Arizona also offers some additional basketball scholarships. We'll tell you who they're going to in this hour of the program. Did you see this goofy story?
Which one? There's always a couple.
The Ohio State University, speaking of somebody who's a man of letters like you, the Ohio State University has actually trademarked the word "the."
Or the.
The. What did I say?
No. I'm wondering though. If
Not
they trademark,
the.
That's the thing. If you say it as the, then it's copyright. If it's just the, then
no, they didn't copyright it.
Or they trademarked
They
it.
trademarked it, so the is part of their the Ohio State University. Because there's lots of people that use the.
Yep.
I don't think you could copyright. Might be able to trademark the. But I think it's THEE is what they trademarked. I don't think that's going to stand up for a long time. Somebody else, there was a designer that was trying to copyright. They're trying to trademark the word "the," and then Ohio State beat them to it.
Yep. I would not be surprised if it gets kicked out of trademark law.
Is that obnoxious, though, when you see those Ohio State University?
Obnoxious.
The Ohio State University.
I always love when you see guys doing that when they introduce themselves from the Ohio State University. You always get that one Michigan guy that says the University of Michigan. It's like,
Michigan tweeted out a big of. So Ohio State had put the, and then Ohio State University. So Michigan responded back with University, and then a big of OF Michigan. Anyway, Game 4, Stanley Cup Final. Right?
Yep.
Final.
Yep.
Dragon Ball yelled at me. It's not the finals. It's the
Stanley Cup Final.
Final. Game 4 tonight. The Lightning looked awful in the first 2 games. Looked great in Game 3. We'll see what happens tonight. That's in Tampa Bay tonight, right?
This will be in Tampa Bay. So, like I said, it's not a series till somebody loses at home.
Sad news. Tony Siragusa passed away.
Yeah, it's a real bad day in Baltimore football because it's not only do they lose Tony Siragusa, a member of the Super Bowl, the first Super Bowl team in Baltimore,
right?
But they also end up losing a young linebacker on the team, Jalen Ferguson, who passed away at 26.
Goose was only 55 years old. You'll remember him as a member of the Fox television crew.
Oh, he was one of the best sideline reporters out there. Absolute character, loved him to death.
And by the way, did you see this story about Trevor Lawrence?
No, what happened to T-Law now?
T-Law. Is that his nickname, T-Law?
No, that's just what I call him right now for the sake of.
Then you know what? He should be T-Law. He took his signing bonus and put 100% of his signing bonus into.
Don't tell me the dreaded C word.
The C word, cryptocurrency. And as the economy starting to falter, cryptocurrency just went. And he's lost. Hold on. I got it right here. I actually screenshotted this because I was going to bring it up on the program today. Let me see. I got it right here. Trevor Lawrence. Woo, baby. Here it is. Last year, he got a signing bonus of $22.9 million. Put it all in a crypto wallet. Since the combined value of that wallet has fallen more than 60%, he lost $15 million by putting 100% of his money in crypto.
That's, you know what? No, I can't help this. I can't.
Well, then you're as dumb as you are stupid.
That's for T-Law.
Wow.
That's ridiculous. That makes me so mad.
Why?
$22 million is life-changing money.
It's called generational wealth.
Generational wealth. It is life-changing, and you have blown it.
How much did he lose? I just say that
60%, which means he lost $15 million. He has $7 million of a signing bonus that he got as the number one.
No,
overall.
So he lost 60%. He got 22.9, lost 60%. So he's right around $9 million. I mean, it's still pretty good.
It's still good,
but he lost $15 million.
You were a quarter of a way from $100 million just from signing your name on a piece of paper. And you threw it away, putting it into some kind of online picture graph or whatever it happens to be.
With his luck, he probably will lose the password. He'll get locked.
He plays for the Jaguars, so it's like he's probably.
That's par for the course.
I mean, you know what? It's. Oh man.
All right, so somebody's having a worse day than me. He spilled all over himself.
Absolutely, Trevor Lawrence is having a worse day than you.
All right, that's what's rattling around in my big old head today. Coming up next, we'll give you the brackets, who survived to the Sweet 16 at Tucson's Top Cat. That's coming up next. We'll also go back in the Wayback Machine and have our conversation. Reggie Gary, who had joined us for Wildcat Wednesday. All that coming up. I'm Rich Herrera. That is Dragon Ball. How much crypto do you have?
0.
No guts, no glory.
I'll gladly take cents.
This is 1290. Okay, very quickly, everybody, I got to give you an update on the Sweet 16 of our brackets. Right? Dragon Ball, you voted already?
Oh, I already voted.
I have not voted yet. I'm bringing this up if you're watching on our stream. By the way, thanks to everybody for watching on YouTube and Facebook and WildcatsRadio1290.com. I think it's kind of fun. Like live, we get a couple people and then, look back later and then you'll get more people. So, 20, 30 people watching it, which is pretty good.
Yep.
It's almost good enough to beat that kid with that stupid ant farm.
That ant farm, yep. We're working our way one step at a time on that.
I don't know. He's pretty cute.
I mean, yeah, and the ants, they actually are a little more active than other ant farms I've watched.
Well, because he keeps kicking it. Little brat. By the way, just in case if you do want to check out, we have a countdown to Arizona football. Season opener against San Diego State on the road. 72 days, 20 hours, and 59 minutes.
I'm actually kind of surprised how close that is. That's only, 2 months?
Yeah. 72 days, 20 hours, and 59 minutes until the opener. All right. You can also go to WildcatsRadio1290.com to vote the Tucson Top Cat tournament. So here's where we are right now. Here is your Sweet 16, if you will. The number 1 overall seed, Steve Kerr, survived his battle with Kenny Lofton last week to advance to the next round. He goes up against a major heavyweight, an Arizona icon in Barry Goldwater.
Not an easy match.
Annika goes up against Bob Dole. JT Snow, Dan Hicks, underdogs that have made it into the Sweet 16. They're the Cinderellas.
Underdogs to everyone but Liz.
Exactly. My wife loves JT Snow, so vote JT. Jenny Finch versus Gronk.
That's actually going to be a very tough one.
Jerry Bruckheimer versus Chuck Cecil. John Hughes takes on Trevor Hoffman. Carl Eller versus Sean Elliott. Linda Ronstadt will take on Terry Francona. Those are the Sweet 16 round matchups. You have the opportunity to vote right now. WildcatsRadio1290.com. WildcatsRadio1290.com for you to vote and see who will be Tucson's top cat. All right, coming up next, it's all brought to you by PGA Tour Superstore. We had a conversation a while ago, and I like when we go back in the Wayback Machine for Wildcat Wednesday. Reggie Gary was our guest. We talked about how he got here from modern day to the University of Arizona and everything in between. That's next here at 1290.
This is David Amata, and here's what's trending on 1290 here at 3:37. Another Gonzaga Bulldog is headed to the University of Arizona after guard Matt Lang agrees to join the Wildcats as a grad transfer. Both Arizona swimmer Brooks Fail and women's basketball player Sam Thomas walk away with a 2021-22 Tom Hansen Conference Medal Award as Arizona's top male and female student athletes from the Pac-12. With the NBA draft coming up tomorrow, the opening odds have Auburn forward Jabari Smith Jr. listed as the consensus favorite to be taken with the top overall pick. And 2 passings in the NFL for the Baltimore Ravens today, as current linebacker Jalen Ferguson and former Raven and Super Bowl champion Tony Siragusa have both tragically passed away. That's what's trending locally and nationally on 1290. Still more to come on the Rich Herrera Show. This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
It's Wildcat Wednesday on 1290. Presented by your Tucson PGA Tour Superstore. Located at Oracle and Liberal Lost in Tucson. Shop with the pros. Today we remember all the great traditions at the University of Arizona and what it means to bear down on Wildcats Radio 1290.
Thanks for joining us on Wildcat Wednesday. We sit down with the men and women that made the traditions that carry on to this day for the University of Arizona. This is a special treat. My very good friend, Reggie Geary. Love listening to him on the radio. He's a heck of a golfer, and I love when he comes on the program. Reggie Geary joining us right now on Wildcat Wednesday. Bear down, Reggie. How are you?
Bear down, Rich. I'm good, man. I love the fact you talk me up as a golfer. It makes me feel good.
I'm telling you, folks, if you ever want to go out and talk about the future of Arizona athletics, and you want to watch somebody who's just going to hit the ball straight down the middle as you talk about all the exciting things that are going on at McHale, Reggie Geary is your man.
Oh, most definitely. It's an exciting time to be a Wildcat. We have so many positive things happening on campus and with our student athletes. It's just a good time, and I'm always excited and passionate about the Cats.
Well, let's talk a little bit about you. In on Wildcat Wednesday, we invite in lettermen and letter winners, men and women that made the traditions that are being carried on today at the University of Arizona. And I know a little bit of your story from when we went out and played golf with Dixie Wooten and Glenn Howell, but I was hoping you could help us out. How did you get to the University of Arizona?
Yeah, it's a good question. Originally from back east, but grew up in Southern California. And originally I was a baseball player. That was kind of my track. And I thought I was going to be a pro baseball player when I was a youngster, but then started getting into basketball. And long story short, ended up at Modern Day High School, which is just a fantastic opportunity for me, playing for a future Hall of Fame coach, I believe, in Gary McKnight, and just being surrounded by so much talent. I really got an introduction to kind of what big time basketball and athletics look like. And so, luckily and fortunately for me, Coach Olson and Gary and Coach McKnight had a good relationship. Coach Olson identified me early, and Jesse Evans recruited me, and after looking at a few other schools like UCLA and Villanova and a few others, I just felt Arizona and just the community here at the school, the atmosphere that was here was just perfect for me. And so, I was fortunate enough to come here once again, play for a Hall of Fame coach in Lou Olson and be surrounded by some great, not only basketball players but individuals. Just makes me very fortunate and really. Really happy with my decision to be a Wildcat.
What made you think of Arizona? What helped solidify your decision when you came out to visit? What struck you like, wow, this is home?
Yeah, I think first and foremost, it was just a college. It was a college town, college environment. I remember coming on my visit and I was going around town. I was running into Ed Stokes and I believe Sean Rooks and Matt Arthur were still on campus at that time as seniors, and they just had an aura about them and just kind of how they carried themselves and how I was seeing people respond to them around town. I knew immediately this was a warm place. Keep in mind, as a West Coast kid, the predominant the universities at that time in terms the elite universities on the West Coast were UNLV with Jerry Tarkanian, with UCLA, with Jim Harrigan in Arizona. So you knew in coming here you were coming to a big time program. I was entering a college atmosphere, and I was just hearing all the right things. It reminded me a lot of my high school in terms of style of play and feel, and so I just felt comfortable from day one.
you have to have, I mean, there had to be something, because for you to escape modern day and fly past the Poly Pavilion and the Westwood campus was something, because modern day, and I want to ask you about your high school in just a second, because I talk about them all the time. I mean, that's a feeder school that sends kids to be all Pac-12 or Pac-10 players at that time to USC, UCLA. Half the rosters of most of those teams come from your high school.
Yeah, as you said, it's kind of a, it's a very, very good academic and athletic school. Football traditionally one of the top teams in the nation. Basketball, same way. The women's basketball, has made a name for themselves over the last decade or so. And so, coming in there, there's going to be high expectations, a lot of pressure at times, but also you're going to get exposed and seen by some of the top coaches in the nation. And so, in my case, I think my dad, in the back of his mind, wanted me to go to UCLA just because of their rich tradition. Especially when he was younger and coming through, all the great teams, Coach Wooden had there. In all honesty, it was a bad visit. Coach Herrick came in. We didn't have a great home visit. I didn't leave with a great feel. And so that kind of soured me on UCLA at that time. UNLV was really rolling at that time, but about the same time my senior year, they went on probation. So they had lost a big class. Ed O'Bannon was supposed to go there. Sean Tarver, both of them ended up at UCLA. But, besides maybe, Syracuse and Jim Boeheim coming in the house, Arizona, when Coach Olson walks through the door and Jesse Evans, it's an impressive tag team. Coach Evans doesn't get enough credit for what he did here in terms of his recruiting and his ability to go out and get top-notch players for the university. And then obviously Coach Olson and his great presence. When he walked in the room, he commanded it, and he had my attention. And I just really liked what he was selling, and just very happy that I chose to come here.
I'm going to get back to modern day and the Trinity League here in just a second, but since you brought up Coach Olson, I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you about Coach O. Tommy Lloyd today said that, here's a man that you never hear anybody say anything bad about in Coach Olson. And it just struck me as so unique because, I don't know anybody else that had the success that he had with no enemies. I'd be hard-pressed to find anybody that didn't respect the man and always had something good to say about him. When they have the moment of silence before the game against Washington, what's going to be flashing through your mind?
Just of all the great memories, all the lessons he taught me as a young man. Anytime I'm in that building, we talk about Coach Olson, I start thinking about Bobby and the great impact she had on the program as well. But Coach was always just a class act, and he was a fiercely competitive individual, but he never let that blind him, which made him ugly or standoffish or someone you couldn't approach. He enjoyed being Coach Olson. He enjoyed being kind of a man of the city and being about the people. And I think people felt that and reciprocated in terms of they felt that this is someone who cared about our program, cared about our town, and cared about them. And so it would be hard-pressed to find anyone to say anything bad about him. He was such a cool customer. As a player, I don't remember him sweating all that much. It's kind of funny to say, but, he would get after it. But it was just a calmness to him that really the team felt, that confidence that he had. It just kind of washed over all of us where we expected to not only win games, but to also uphold ourselves as gentlemen and representatives of the U of A.
I always respect the fact that he made you feel like you were important. It didn't matter whether you were some talk show host that ran their mouth on the radio or a major donor or a kid who went to the U of A. He looked you in the eye, and he had such respect for people, and that's hard to come by these days.
No, I think that's an excellent point you make, Rich. When Coach was with you, you had his full attention. He wasn't, thinking of something else. He wasn't looking down at his phone. He wasn't trying to get out of there. He took advantage of that time with you, and I thought it was an opportunity to maybe make a new fan or a new friend, and just I think that's an excellent observation that and I think he learned a lot from Bobby. We laugh we talk about Miss Olson, how we all felt that we were her favorite. You know what I mean? And there's that kind of interaction. I think Coach, definitely learned from that and was a part of that where it was one-on-one time with you and you got his full attention.
Well, she was the secret weapon. That's why it's so wonderful to have her name on the court as well, because she was that matriarch of the program. As great as Lute was, she was right there with them, taking care of him and taking care of the program.
No, she really was. She really was. She was the epitome of a coach's wife. She'd been with him from the very beginning of his coaching career. She understood what it meant to be a coach's wife and how supportive she has to be not only to coach but to her family and to the players. And she just did a marvelous job of that. And I'd be remiss. I want to make sure I mention, obviously Kelly Olsen.
Yes.
Did a fabulous job. She stepped in with the same type role, maybe a little different time frame of coach's life, but she was right there, super supportive. Was embraced by the players. Really wanted to be a part of the family. So coach was very fortunate. He found some very special women.
Well, and then you also look at the other people that made this program work with Coach Olsen, and there was so many assistant coaches. Like you said, Jesse Evans needs to get more recognition for what he did while he was here. Coach Roz was so important. I was talking with Corey Williams and Kelvin, and they were telling me how much everybody wanted to work and how hard you wanted to work for Coach Roz. Rodney Tension, who was a big part of the program, and so many other assistant coaches and team managers that really were behind the scenes making this thing click.
Yeah, I mean, this was a program, in the truest sense that, it wasn't just Coach Olsen and the players, that the support staff that Coach had with his assistant that you named, Ross, were obviously coming from Iowa with Coach transitioning. Scott Thompson was another individual, Phil Johnson. We can go on and on. And then you have the managers, you have the secretaries. I mean, he's had some fabulous secretaries over the decades. It's just all encompassing, from ADs to athletic directors to, support staff in terms of education and tutors. I mean, Coach really kept a finger on all of that. I know Sean Miller's done a good job at that. I'm sure Tommy Lloyd's doing the same.
Okay, we're talking with Reggie Gary right now. It's Wildcat Wednesday. Let me go back to modern day for just a second. I talk about the Trinity League a lot, and people are like, okay, Rich, enough about the Trinity League. I always tell people, listen, and I've told you this, there is a pipeline that we've had from the Trinity League, from San Diego, that has brought so much talent here, from your high school, from the rest of the schools in the Trinity League, to Adia Barnes, who went to Mission Bay, Chuck Cecil and Brandon Sanders, who went to Helix High School down in San Diego. That is a huge, huge pipeline of talent that have made their way and been so successful. And I think that's one of the most important pipelines that we have recruiting-wise for Tucson.
Oh, it really is. Like I say, Southern California, California in general, it's just such a great area to go in and find talent at a high level. That Trinity League, when I was playing in it, was tremendous. We had guys like Toby Bailey, ended up going to UCLA, and Jelani Gardner, and James Cotton, ended up being an NBA player. So, you knew night in, night out, you were going to see great players. That pipeline's still in effect, not only for basketball. We're going to get three guys from Servite.
Yep.
Another coming to Jetfish next year. And so that is something that it's on everyone's list to make sure when they go to Southern California, they hit these particular spots. When they go to San Diego, they hit these particular schools in all sports. And so it's something that if we want to remain as an elite university in all these sports, it's just an area you have to do well in recruiting.
By the way, you already know this. Modern Day is playing for the Open Championship in football. They defeated Servite, and they'll take on Sarah San Mateo, where Tom Brady and Barry Bonds went to school in the state championship in a couple weeks. So, yeah, that's a big-time high school football right there. Everybody we bring on the program, we always ask a couple things. How did it come to the University of Arizona make you a better person?
It made me a better person. I just grew up so much while I was here, it's first time on your own. I think the athletic department, at that time and still do, did just an excellent job of just, showing us some discipline, giving us some time management, just making understand what it means to be a true student athlete in that sense. Because, you come in, you don't really know. You don't know how it's going to be. And so I just matured so much here, both on and off the court. Made my mistakes like everyone else, but luckily for me, they were all teachable mistakes, things I could come back from. And they just wrapped your arms around you as you go from a young man, into manhood. And so very appreciative of that. It's something I try to stress when I'm talking to guys now. There's a lot of lessons you can learn, in this building, on this campus, that are going to be with you for a lifetime. So just make sure you're alert to those opportunities, alert to those teachable moments, and make sure you learn from them.
Okay, big thing. Bear down. It's not just a saying on a T-shirt. It's a way of life. It's an attitude. It's a mantra, whatever you want to call it. What does bear down mean to you?
Oh man, it means so many things. First and foremost, it's just that persistence and resilience of excellence to get the job done. It just means digging down just a little bit deeper. That there's a little bit more there in the well. You might not realize it, but there's something there you can go to. Whether you're on the court of the field, whether you're trying to get an extra hour of studying in, whether you're dealing with some hardships in life that are definitely going to come. Just bearing down is just being persistent, resilient, and always striving just to be the best you.
I wasn't smart enough and didn't have the grades or the money to go to the University of Arizona, but I live in Tucson, and there's times where, I get knocked down on my butt, and as I'm picking myself back up, those two words just flash before my eyes. Is it the same with you when things aren't going well? You just kind of thinking, all right, time to bear down, and you just know what it means to dig deeper.
Yeah, I mean, it's so ingrained in my DNA now. I don't even think about it. It's just part of me. Just going that extra mile, and the fact I love the fact that you can go. I've had the great fortune to live all over the world, and run into U of A alum and students at the U of A, and to have that mantra of bear down, and meeting a fellow Wildcat is just another area of pride that everyone should take.
Okay, last big question, and Reggie Gary's been so kind to join us here on Wildcats Radio 1290. And you're the most unique person to ask this of, Reg. We always ask everybody, because listen, there's no secret. From Dr. Robbins, Dave Hickey, all the way down, everybody at the athletic department knows we want to do better as a community, as an athletic department. There's a lot of things that Arizona will get better at, and they continue to improve. But you hear this every day, working in development for the athletic department. You'll meet with donors, and they'll sit and they'll go, okay, I don't like this, I don't like that. And I always tell people, every time I point a finger, that's great when I'm calling somebody and posting somebody up, but there's three more pointing at me, and I'm either going to be part of the problem or I'm going to be part of the solution. So I think you're the most unique person to ask this question of. For those that point a finger and go, I want to get better at X, Y, or Z, three more are pointing back at me. What can the community do to help rebuild the football program, get the basketball program to the Final Four, help Adia Barnes sustain the success that she's had, help Chip Hale get back to the College World Series, help Caitlin Lowe go back to Oklahoma City, help Fred Harvey get his track and field team to the national championship, help Laura Ianello continue the success that they've had from women's golf, help Jim Anderson and his golf team bring us back a national championship. What can people do to help?
Yeah, great question. When posed with that, I'm always telling people, man, just continue to support the university with your energy, and most importantly, your attendance, and if at all possible, with your dollars. We have a world-class university. We have world-class resources, but, it's always an arms race. It's always, this want to get better. And so if you want to support us, keep wearing our colors, keep coming to games, go to an event you haven't been to. I mean, we have some, whether it's women's volleyball, gymnastics, track and field, cross country. I've had the opportunity to go to a lot of these events. They're fabulous family atmosphere. They're great environments to go to see college athletes up close. I don't think people realize some of the opportunities that are out there. Go out and support some of these teams that maybe could really use some additional fans. If you have an opportunity, become a season ticket holder. If you have an opportunity to donate, even better. It's just just to get behind us. And yes, there are frustrating aspects to some of our teams in football. We would love to see them win more games. Be patient. Realize that the student athletes are really busting their butts. They're doing everything they can to make you proud. Never lose sight of that. And just to be patient and keep supporting, and we will turn a corner, or we'll go to the next level depending on what sport we're talking about.
And it's interesting you say that because, basketball, and again, Dave Hickey keeps reminding me, there are tickets available. You can call 621-CATS and get tickets for the game tomorrow against UW. There are tickets available. They might not be on the floor, but you could get into the building. But there's other sports that, if you show up and you cheer on the beach volleyball team, wow, does that make a world of difference for that team. You show up in volleyball for Dave Rubio when they have the National Invitation Tournament this weekend at McHale. That's going to make a huge difference for Dave Rubio's club. There's so many different teams that would love to have your support, and they just appreciate you being there, Reggie.
Yeah, they really would. And like you said, you're going to see some gifted athletes, some gifted men and women representing Arizona. And hey, if you start coming to games and crowds get bigger, guess what? Recruits start to see this. Recruits start to recognize this. We could talk about our attendance at some of these events, and it just helps the cause. And so, if you can do it, please do it. In terms of basketball tickets, we have availability A through F, which is very rare. So please call the ticket office 621-CATS. Call me directly and look me up online. And I'd be more than happy to help anybody. But it's a good time to get in the building. Prices have never been lower, and this thing's about to take off. As you can see, the players have really got acclimated very quickly to Tommy Lloyd and his philosophies and what he's trying to accomplish here. This team, we haven't talked about it a lot right now, but they have been making it something special in terms of they all understand their roles. The role they do have, it's just as we've seen early against Wichita and Michigan, they could do some special things. So support them, buy tickets, come to the game, and I think you'll be happy.
Absolutely. It all begins, you know what? Wear your red and blue with pride, right?
Oh, without question, every day, all day.
Reggie, thank you so much for joining us for Wildcat Wednesday. It means a lot to me. I know that you're busy getting ready for everything going on, Mikhail and the memorial and everything. So I appreciate you taking time joining us.
Yeah, Rich, anytime, man. Thank you guys for having me. If you can come down tomorrow night, please come out to celebrate Coach and support this team. And like I say, I just love being able to talk about the Cats and just want to say bear down to everybody out there.
Absolutely. Reggie, thank you so much. Bear down. I'll talk to you soon.
All right.
Take care. Reggie Gary joining us here on Wildcats Radio 1290.
Rich Herrera, exclusively on Wildcats Radio 1290.
Sign up for Lowe's MVP's Pro Rewards and Partnership Program and get exclusive rewards to help level up your business. Program subject to terms and conditions, valid through 12/31/22. See lowes.com/L/pro loyalty terms, subject to change.
I get chills. I wanted to bring that Reggie Gary back to you again for Wildcat Wednesday because I get chills listening to him talk about Lute Olson and what it was like to have Lute Olson come into your house and recruit you. It's interesting. He said Jim Herrick came in his house and just nothing. Jim Boeheim, pretty cool. Lute Olson, done. Done. That was pretty cool. Let's see. What do I got to tell everybody? Today's program brought to you by PGA Tour Superstore. Shop with the pros at Tucson's PGA Tour Superstore. Now, golf can be intimidating. Going to a golf store can be intimidating. I don't know if I have the right clubs. I got these clubs. Somebody gave them to me. I've had these forever. You just don't know. And a lot of times when I walk into the golf store, it's a little intimidating. I don't know what the new technology is. I don't know what the latest fads are. I don't know a lot of things when it comes to golf equipment. And that's why when you walk into PGA Tour Superstore, that anxiety goes away like that. Because at PGA Tour Superstore, they have got a wide variety. Whether you're a brand new player like me and you're not very good and you've never broken 100 in your life and you get excited because I only lost 3 golf balls when I played 18 holes of golf. That's how I actually measure my golf, is how many golf balls did I lose. Or you're a really good golfer like Reggie Gary, and you know how to put backspin on it, and you could do. I can't do any of that. I just want to hit straight down the middle and enjoy myself. They could take care of you no matter what your playing ability is. So if you're going out there and you're hitting Pro V1s and you're just sitting it straight down the middle and you're cutting corners and all the rest of that, and you're winning tournaments, that's great. They'll take care of you. If you're like me, like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Great, Rich. Let's sit down and take a look at what you need. And especially when you're buying clubs, it's a little tough. That's why they have professional club fitters that will put together your golf club for you. Which kind of shaft do you need? What feels good in your hand? What kind of grip do you want? They could do all of that for you right there at PGA Tour Superstore. Heck, if you want to get instruction, they have PGA golf professionals right there to give you golf lessons. And by the way, just my little home away from home right now, inside PGA Tour Superstore, inside the store, there are 2 bays where you can actually hit golf balls. So if you want to go hit golf balls, work on your swing a little bit, they actually have video. Boom, you can watch to see, am I opening up my hips? And am I rolling over too soon? Where's my release point? You can do all of that right there. And they've got 2 bays in there. So if you want to go hit golf balls when it's 105 degrees outside, good. Go do it inside PGA Tour Superstore. They have everything that a golfer could want, from shoes from Nike, Adidas, Echo, Puma, New Balance, golf balls, Pro V1s, everything from Titleist, TaylorMade, Callaway, Bridgestone, Wilson. They've got it all. It's the biggest, best selection of golf equipment in Southern Arizona with great service. And here's what I'm going to tell you. I've got the hookup for you. This is just for our listeners and our listeners only. I was just talking with the folks there yesterday. Like I said, next week or so, we have a pretty big announcement coming up. Still, I love this. And this is just them being good people. You go into PGA Tour Superstore, you get $20 off any day of the week. It's a special for our listeners, $20 off a purchase of $100, $50 off a purchase of $250 or more. Now, Ping, Titleist, FootJoy, not included in this promotion. Everything else, giddy up. PGA Tour Superstore located at Oracle and Limberlost. And again, don't forget, I got a big announcement coming up here in the next week or so in regard to PGA Tour Superstore. Thanks to them for bringing you Wildcat Wednesday. All right, I wanted to talk a little bit about the draft coming up and Dragon Ball. We really have to go through the brackets. And I think we need a debate because the Top Cat Challenge, the Top Cat Tournament, whatever, I keep calling it by the wrong name. It's the Top Cat Tournament, Tucson's Top Cat. You can't just vote and not think about it because the matchups are pretty incredible this week.
There's a lot of different, I guess the best way to put it, there's a lot of different influences that each of the...
Wait a minute, can you hear me drinking water?
No.
Okay.
I can hear you dropping the bottle down, but I can't hear you drinking.
I'm trying to drink water and cut down on soda because it's summer and it's hot.
Yes. But there's so many different ways that the each
So is
of the,
20 sodas a day bad?
Yeah. That's pretty bad.
Okay.
Oof. How much in a bottle now?
I don't know. How big is a Polar Pop?
Oh, yeah, that's bad.
No, I don't drink
That's
that much
bad.
soda.
But no, each of the contestants right now that are still in Tucson's Top Cat, each of them have an influence on everybody's lives in a different way. There's so many different ways that these individuals had an impact on your life as a University of Arizona graduate.
And what they've done since.
And what they've done since, exactly.
Yeah. And they're all household names.
Yes.
They're all names like, wow, I didn't realize that guy went to the University of Arizona. Like, I didn't realize John Mozeliak, the general manager of the Cardinals, went to the U of A.
Yep.
Before he graduated from Colorado. There's lots of people like that. So, like, I didn't realize that Bob Dole went to the University of Arizona before he went to Kansas.
I didn't realize how many NASA astronauts went to the University of Arizona.
Yeah, I didn't realize that Nicole Richie went to the University of Arizona.
Yep.
And in her own way, she made reality TV possible. Right?
In her own way, yep.
Her and Paris Hilton are responsible for all the garbage we have on TV right now.
And then someone else that also benefited from the reality TV craze in Miss Kardashian, Kourtney.
Yeah. You see her sister went to a therapist, family therapist, before she introduced her kids to Pete Davidson. Dude, what kind of wacky therapist was that? Hey, you know what? I think it's a good idea. Let me introduce your kids to a new train wreck. I'm not a big Pete Davidson fan.
Well, yeah, but I also think that, let's be honest, that separation wasn't necessarily the cleanest it could have been on the planet. But at the same time, maybe a therapist would have been wise for the sake of letting the kids know that there will be change incoming. At least nothing that will be as damaging as what happened to the Marilyn Monroe dress that Kim ruined on the.
What'd she do? I don't know. I didn't hear about that.
She apparently wore a dress that Marilyn Monroe had.
Like a real Marilyn Monroe dress?
Yes.
Would it be like if I got an Elvis costume?
This was her dress she wore for the JFK inauguration. And Kim Kardashian
where she sang Happy Birthday?
Yes.
Happy birthday, Mr. President.
Yes. She wore that exact same dress. And needless to say, the measurements didn't quite work out. She ended up splitting it and actually lost a couple of rhinestones that were in the dress.
No.
Yes.
Okay, first of all, who would be stupid enough to let her wear that dress?
Money talks, man. That's all I can think of. Money talks.
Wow.
But yeah, and so there's a lot.
Did she get in trouble?
Publicly, with the court of public opinion, yeah. I don't know if she got that much in trouble.
Why would you wear that iconic dress?
Because she wanted to.
You're no Marilyn Monroe.
She wanted to. I think that's the end all be all of that answer. She just wanted to.
I guess I get it. Like last night, I wanted hash browns for dinner, and I got my way. And she just looked at me. She goes, "You're an idiot." So
thing is, I don't think you paid your way to get that to happen, though.
No.
Did you pay for dinner?
Of course not. I did drive. Usually I let her drive everywhere. I drove. And you know what else I did? I thought about you. I actually I opened the car door for her for the first time in forever.
There you go.
And because I walked, so we both got keys.
It's the little things,
We
Rich.
walked to the Jeep. And she's walking to the passenger side. And she goes, "I thought you said you were driving." I said, "I am." And she looked at me. She goes, "Well, what are you doing over here?" And I said, "I thought I'd open the door for you, sweetheart. Thank you for letting me have breakfast for dinner." And she goes, "What do you want?"
It's like Dr. Lehman told us all those months ago. It's the little things.
The little things. All right. Coming up on the program, I'll give you the latest of the mock drafts, and then we're going to get to the brackets. We got a whole lot to get to in the next couple hours. I'm Rich Herrera. That is the Dragon Ball. Go to WildcatsRadio1290.com right now to vote for Tucson's Top Cat, and we're going to debate. In fact, you take one, I'll take the other. I'll debate you. Coming up on the program, who's Tucson's Top Cat. But coming up next, where do the latest mock drafts have Ben Matherin going? Oh, baby. Is his stock shooting up? We'll tell you about it next. This is Wildcats Radio 1290. Rich Rare Radio Show rolls on here at Wildcats Radio 1290. All right, we have a correction. Before I get to the mock drafts, we do have a correction. So I read it on CBS Sports, and I think ESPN ran it as well, about Trevor Lawrence losing his signing bonus in crypto.
Yes, we did.
It was first reported by...
I'm not sure if this was first reported by Barstool Sports, but I'm thinking they're at least the person that drew the interest of a particularly affected party.
Okay, so the story was that Trevor Lawrence has lost 60% of his signing bonus by being heavily invested in crypto, taking 100% of his signing bonus and putting it into crypto. That's the broadcast report. He has disputed that story.
Yes, so the Barstool Sports tweet reads that Trevor Lawrence turned his $24 million signing bonus into $9 million by getting it into crypto.
By investing 100% of it into crypto.
Yes, so Trevor Lawrence then quote tweeted rather, "Did y'all confuse my FTX official signing bonus with my NFL one? Carry on, ...
And what's that mean?
So basically what it is that Trevor Lawrence had, I suppose, signed an endorsement deal with FTX Official, which, for those that don't know, that's the digital asset exchange built by traders for everyone. It's the crypto exchange commercial that you see with Steph Curry.
Right.
So it's a
and
crypto...
they're on the umpires' uniforms.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a crypto exchange website. Trevor had signed an endorsement with them and gotten his signing bonus put into crypto.
Gosh, so he signed with FTX. The endorsement fee that he got, instead of paying him in cash, he took it in crypto. And of that money that he had, because crypto's tanking right now,
yes,
he lost.
It went from 24 to about 9 million right now.
But is that how much FTX gave him? Or is that his signing bonus from the NFL?
So,
do we know how much he made from FTX?
From the FTX endorsement?
Yeah.
I want to say that $24 million was from that.
I don't trust any of that story now.
No, there's a lot of the money that's getting thrown around, and I'm not totally sure
it's
where
not necessarily a bad play. William Shatner.
Yes.
You remember the William Shatner story?
Wait, which William Shatner story are you talking about?
He was the early endorser for Priceline.
Yes. Okay.
And he took, instead of taking cash, he took stock options in Priceline, and he ended up making like $1 bazillion when it went public. Donald Sutherland. You know the Donald Sutherland story?
No.
Donald Sutherland was in Animal House. One of the greatest movies of all time. You've seen it, haven't you?
Yes.
Look at me. You have seen Animal House.
Yes, I have seen Animal House.
Yeah, you said that before to me, and then you turned out that you...
I have seen Animal House.
How many times have you seen Animal House?
I've seen Animal House maybe twice.
The rest of your life, you're just wasting away. Like my brother yelled at me. He goes, "Why have you seen Top Gun 5 times?" Because that good. He goes, "I just need to see a movie once." No.
I've seen Animal House maybe twice.
But for sure once.
At least once.
Beginning to end.
Beginning to end, yes.
Okay. So Donald Sutherland plays the professor in Animal House. He did not take a salary. He didn't take his normal cut in the movie. He took points off of it and ended up making like a couple $1 million on Animal House by taking the points instead of getting his standard SAG fee, Screen Actors Guild rate. For his, I think he was on there like 2 days.
Right.
So he made a ton of money. Trevor Lawrence, no bueno. Not so much.
Yeah, so there's no evidence that Trevor Lawrence put his $24 million of his signing bonus into crypto. It's just that whatever he signed with FTX and these other...
Shockers, the media got it wrong. Are we considered media?
Oh, I don't think we dress well enough to be media.
I do. I was dressed
You were
very
going
nice.
to. You were going to be.
I had on a really nice shirt, dress shirt from Dillard's. I had a pair of Ralph Lauren 5-pocket jeans. Khaki.
Meanwhile, I'm wearing my Goodwill fit. This is part of my thrift store shopping I did over the weekend.
It's a nice shirt if it was ironed.
It's not bad.
If it was ironed, it would look presentable.
Yeah, but then the texture feels bad, and then it's.
What do you mean the texture feels bad?
It feels too warm, and it's too hot to be wearing anything that's been fresh out of the dryer anymore.
I didn't say fresh out of the dryer. I said if you ironed it.
I mean, what is the dryer other than just a very large
something that
steamer?
It takes the moisture out of your clothes so they're dry and they don't get moldy. Then they have this thing. They've had it for a long, long time. It's called an iron. You take a hot piece of metal and then you press it over the clothing to take out all the wrinkles to look presentable when you come to work.
But that's
especially when you appear on camera on YouTube like you.
But that's a lot of work.
Get your girlfriend to do it.
Nah, I'm not going to ask her to do that.
I'll give you $1.
No.
Let's call her and see if she'll start ironing your clothes.
Absolutely not.
Come on.
No.
Come
absolutely.
on, you coward.
Oh, I'm a super coward, but no, we're not doing that.
Come on.
No.
What do you think she'd say to me?
What she'd say to you?
Yeah.
I can't say on air.
Would she get that mad if I said, can you please make sure that his
probably
clothes are pressed when he comes to work? Or, I don't know, sweetheart, why don't you...
Hey, be careful. Be careful now.
I'm trying to be nice to her. No, I use that term a lot. I shouldn't.
That's what I mean. Is that term?
Well, I didn't want to say. I was going to say her name, and I didn't want to say her name.
Right.
I was going to say Dragon Ball friend. Why don't you help him out by ironing so he doesn't look like a slob?
Nah, I'm not going to ask her to do that. I'll eventually get around to it. It's just today I didn't.
To get her to do it, or for you to?
For me to do it.
Because steamers don't work.
I don't have an iron if that's the case.
I'll buy you an iron.
No, you won't.
Oh, don't tempt me. I'll go get you an iron at Costco. I'll get you a good iron and a board, too.
Nah, I don't know. It seems like a lot of work.
You are funny. Let's see. Coming up. Okay.
Talk about the draft.
Yeah, stop taking me down these Dragon Ball rabbit holes.
I try not to.
The latest mock drafts are out right now. Ben Mathurin, number 6 to the Pacers. That's pretty much a consensus right now from both ESPN. Look, I got the paper right here. I actually did the prep for the show today.
Mm-hmm.
Benedict Mathurin, ESPN, number 6. Also, CBSSports.com has him going number 6 to the Pacers. NBA.com, which has a consensus. They take all of those and kind of put them together. They have him as a consensus number 6. Some people have him at a 7, but just about everybody else thinks he's a lock to go at number 6 to the Pacers. That's huge for Benedict Mathurin. We thought he was going to be a lottery pick. Then we thought he was going to be a top 10. To jump up to number 6, he has really impressed everybody going through the NBA draft process.
It'll be interesting to see, because that's the thing with the NBA draft that's always very, very touch and go, is a lot of these guys get drafted and they end up getting traded and then their name gets read. So if he goes number 6 to the Pacers, there's never a guarantee that he ends up going to Indiana to go and play.
Yeah, but I don't see anybody saying that that's a draft and trade.
Maybe not. But again, you just never know.
Okay, listen, Mr. Media, you're just throwing things out. People are like, well, I was going to go get my Ben Mathurin jersey T-shirt. Now Dragon Ball says don't get it because he might get traded.
But that's just it. You can never be 100% certain.
But you can't be 100% certain that he's not. Unless you've seen it somewhere. Now you're just rumor mongering. Now, you know what? You're the kind of person that messes this up for everybody. You're the kind of person that tells lies about Trevor Lawrence getting all his money lost by investing in crypto.
Well, investing in crypto was his first mistake, but I wouldn't have said where he got the money from. I would have said that he would have lost money in crypto.
You are the media.
But with the NBA draft,
approval percentage is like 2% right now. You're right above...
I mean, everybody assumed...
I can't say what I was going to say.
Yeah, but everybody assumes that Nerlens Noel was going to stay in New Orleans to play alongside Anthony Davis.
Right,
that didn't happen.
But you don't know that. You're just saying, well, it could happen. I could win the lottery.
Yeah.
Kate Upton could say, you know what? I'm tired of being married to Justin Verlander. I think I want to run away with Rich.
This is possible.
You could win the lottery.
I hope.
If anybody won the lottery would be wasted on you because you just take that money and put it in your mattress.
Pay my car, pay for my tuition that I still need to pay off, and that'd be it. Everything else goes in the bank.
Wow. Ooh, what'd you do? How did it change your life? Oh, I put it all in the bank.
I'm not in debt. That's the biggest part. I'm not in debt anymore. But
as Tug McGraw said, I took most of my money and spent it on liquor and women, and the rest I wasted.
That's his choice.
All right. Anyway, stop with your nonsense. I don't. Okay, so let's make sure we have all the facts and evidence. Since you're speculating like a member of the media. Bad person.
You don't know how these teams are thinking.
But you don't know that they are. You just threw something out. You threw something out that there's no rumor or innuendo that would say, hey, I think he's going to get traded. Now, it could happen, but I think you have to say that I just 100% speculated and made that up on the spot right now.
I never said that it was going to happen. I said it was a possibility.
But if somebody's in their car listening to us right now, and they're like, hey, did you just hear that on 1290 they said he was going to get traded?
I believe what I said was that you can never be 100% certain, even with the mock drafts when it comes to the NBA, because you get a lot of guys that get drafted that don't end up going to the cities they get drafted to. That's all I said.
But that has nothing to do with Ben Mathurin.
Correct? In regards to where he goes. When he goes, it's projected that he goes as high as 6.
You're killing me today. Normally, I'd be frustrated with you, but since you have such a wrinkled shirt on, I can't get mad at you. All right, so let me do this.
Okay.
Because again, you're the media. Mock drafts have. Okay, so I'll put the disclaimer on here. I pay attention to them, but I don't put much credence in them because unless you're sitting in the war room, you really don't know what the needs are of each of the teams, correct? Mm-hmm. Or what their evaluations are. Mm-hmm. How much do they care about the measurables versus how much they care about the eye wash test? Fair? What are you doing? The monkey, no, speak no here?
Speak no evil.
Yeah, speak no evil. All the consensus mock drafts have Ben Mathurin going in number 6 to the Indiana Pacers. That's pretty much NBA.com's consensus. That's where he will end up. Again, can there be a trade beforehand? Yes. Can there be a swapping of draft picks? Yes. Can lightning fly out of my rear end? Maybe. You never know.
You're William Wallace now.
You never know. So, are you ready for war? You just completely ruined this segment. The Pacers, number 6, likely to get Ben Mathurin. The other mock drafts, ESPN predicts Dalen Terry going to the Nuggets at 16. Meanwhile, CBSSports.com has him going at number 17 to the Rockets. NBA.com only goes with the lottery picks for consensus. So I think it's a top 14, so there's no consensus on where DT is, but it looks like he's going to be a mid to late first rounder.
The fact that he's up there with the ranks of a fringe lottery pick is impressive considering what we were all thinking, that he was going to maybe be a second-round pick coming into the camps and things like that. So that he shot up that much, kudos to Dalen Terry.
Christian Coloco, Blazers at number 36 is where ESPN predicts he's going to go. But again, we'll see what happens, and the draft is at 5 o'clock tomorrow, and we'll follow it for you here on the program. Is that fair?
That's fair.
I can't believe you're rumor mongering.
I'm not rumor mongering.
That's rumor mongering.
No, that's just the reality that I think a lot of people understand when they watch the NBA draft, is that there's a lot of moves that happened on the day of the draft. In fact,
but say that, but don't say that it's in regard to Ben. Because Ben's not been speculated that
I didn't say that it was going to happen to Ben. I just said that it was that it's a possibility for everybody when they go into the draft that who they get drafted to may not be necessarily who they play for.
Oh, look, Trevor Lawrence is calling on line 2 to yell at you about the cryptocurrency story you just told us.
He can go ahead and call me up, and I'll ask him if he's got anything for the NFTs too. I'll see what he thinks about that.
Well, you're very sure of yourself on the crypto thing.
No, I choose not to endorse the Lily economy. Like people who go ahead and,
Lily is in
the flower.
How I Met Your Mother?
No, Lily is in the flower. I'm not sure if it was the lily flower or something, but there was a currency that was initially made with just flowers, and when the flower stopped growing, suddenly the entire country's economy fell apart. My dad's an econ teacher. Trust me, I've heard this thing, and it is a thing.
All right, let's talk about economics. Trajan Wealth, they're today's sponsor. 321-4100, 321-4100, or go to trajanwealth.com, TRAJAN wealth.com. Here's the deal. The economy's tough, right? Inflation, price of oil, well, you keep throwing everything else out there that's going on right now. So how do you protect your wealth? You need to have somebody you can trust. You need to have somebody better than Dragon Ball and I when it comes to your retirement, your savings, and your nest egg for your family. You need to find somebody who's going to sit down with you face to face and listen to what your thoughts are, listen to what your goals are, and then do everything they can to grow your portfolio. That's what they do at Trajan Wealth. They're fiduciaries. They're paid and incentivized simply to grow your portfolio. That's their only job. They're not there to sell you anything that you don't want. They're not taking commissions on trying to sell you some kind of financial product. They're there to reach your goals. Their advisory fee is a low annual percentage set up front with you, the client, and they live by the motto, the more you make, the more we make. They're your partner. If you don't have that partnership, then you know what? In these rocky times with the economy, you better call them right now. You better find somebody you can trust and is going to have your back through these rough waters. Here's their number, 321-4100, 321-4100, or go to trajanwealth.com, TRAJAN wealth.com, TRAJAN wealth.com. Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor. All right, coming up, nonsense. We got to walk through the brackets. I do want to talk a little bit more about Dale and Terry. We'll get into that coming up here on 1290.
This is David Amata, and here's what's trending on 1290 here at 441. Getting into the 2024 recruiting race, the University of Arizona sent an official offer to 4-star Washington prospect Zoom Diallo. And the Diamondbacks right now are down by 6 runs to the San Diego Padres now, top of the 9th with only 1 out. The Diamondbacks have a chance potentially for a comeback here. And ahead of the NBA draft, the Trailblazers and the Pistons have completed a trade that will send forward Jeremy Grant to Portland. Another coach opening in the NHL has also been filled as the Florida Panthers have hired former Winnipeg Jets bench boss Paul Maurice to replace Andrew Brunette. That's what's trending locally and nationally on 1290. Still more to come on the Rich Herrera Show. This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
This 4th of July, we're helping you celebrate with a big chance to win $5,000 on the Red, White, and Blue giveaway. Use the money on the biggest backyard barbecue, on amazing summer vacations, whatever you want. Visit wildcatsradio1290.com to enter to win today. Unless you're Dragon Ball, and then you'll invest all that $5,000 in cryptocurrency.
No, far from it, sir.
You have zero risk tolerance.
I have zero risk tolerance. This is absolutely true.
Would you buy, if you could have gone back to buy Apple stock?
No.
You wouldn't have bought it?
No.
Like if you met Steve Jobs, he goes, "Hey, you know what? I'll give you 100 shares for $1."
No. You want to know why?
Why?
Because I also believe in the butterfly effect. One change can make everything different.
So if I walked in there and smacked you upside the head, as I want to do sometimes,
I probably would have had
if your grandmother hits you with her slipper the way that she wants to,
there would probably been a lot of changes in my life. Who knows?
Walt Disney walks up and says, "Will you invest in Disneyland?"
And if I invest in Disneyland, I guarantee you that the infrastructure to the main castle would not stand up.
Oh, so you're the jinx.
I have no doubt in my mind I would be the jinx. Oh. It's the butterfly effect. It's that's little
not
change.
What the butterfly effect means. It means something completely different. One little change here, a butterfly flapping his wings causes the wind to blow, and something gets knocked over, and there's a chain reaction around the world.
Yes.
Okay, that's different than what you're saying is that you're a jinx, and anything you touch turns to garbage.
I spend $100 buying into stock for Steve Jobs and whatever. I get them to go public earlier, and their whole stock changes because of that. So it's like things like that. It's the little things that can make a huge difference. So you
think you're that important that you're
all he may have needed was that one little extra 100 for him to feel confident that he would have gone in, or something to that nature. It's the little things. You never know.
This explains a lot about you, that you have this kind of thought process, that you can affect that kind of change. Like if you go to a game and you cheer for the Pittsburgh Steelers, will you change the outcome of the game?
I like to think so.
How about if you stay home? Would you affect the outcome of the game?
You're talking to a person that specifically wears one jersey for home games and one jersey for away games because there is a certain level of juju that goes into one or the other. Like so this is who I am.
You think you're more omnipotent than you really are.
I am not superstitious, Rich, but I am a little stitious.
You're something.
No, I'm a little stitious. I'm not superstitious. I'm a little stitious.
So does your presence hurt or help your team?
Depends on the day.
Well, you got to know beforehand. You have to have some foresight.
Exactly.
In order to be able to wield the type of power that you think you have.
And I don't. I have no idea. It is a crazy, omnipotent, unknown power. The butterfly effect, sir.
That's not the butterfly. You are not part of the butterfly effect.
I could be if I chose to.
But you're not.
Because I stay out of it.
I need a drink.
Oh, it's not that bad.
I've got a headache now. I'm just listening to that, and I need a drink.
Oh, you're fine.
I need a cocktail like the worst way. What are you yelling at me?
What? Nothing.
What are you saying?
No, nothing.
I thought, were you talking? Were you talking to the people without me?
I don't think so.
My mind's blown by this whole butterfly effect thing. This. Well, then I'm glad you didn't go see Top Gun, because Top Gun's the number one movie in America, but you didn't see it originally when I saw it. Otherwise, you could have gone. You could have tripped over your popcorn, knocked over an old lady, broke her hip in Catalina Foothills. She would have sued the movie theater. The movie theater would have said that too many people got excited about the movie, and we've got to shut her down. And then they pulled Top Gun from every other movie theater in the world because you tripped and knocked over a lady.
I could have turned Top Gun into a limited release.
You could have turned Top Gun into a limited release.
Butterfly effect.
People just make up stupid stuff like that to justify their own...
Being a shut-in? Absolutely. That's exactly what I do.
Being a shut-in or their own psychoses.
It works for me.
You're not that powerful. No, I've often thought about it. Like if you're driving on the road and you see an accident, like, wow, good thing I stopped to get McDonald's. You ever thought about that?
There are times where I will go ahead and I will see an accident on the way home, and I'll think, oh, good thing I stayed here late to go ahead and avoid that.
I do believe in that, like timing and everything else like that. I believe in that, but I don't think I have that kind of power. Now, if the two of us had power to do things like that, who would it be? That would be the most powerful person, that they could change the course of history.
Well, you're the one that goes out more often than I do, so absolutely you would be the one with more power if we both had that omnipotence.
I've got a blue check mark.
Yes, you do.
From Twitter. Therefore, I am one of our cultural elites.
This is true.
I am a blue check mark cultural elite. Like almost part of the Illuminati, but not quite.
Yeah.
Because I don't show up for their meetings because they don't have good snacks.
No, they don't. That's usually pretty lax.
Yeah. A lot of vegan and hummus and stuff like that. Like I voted last time, can we get barbecue or pizza? And they said no.
No.
The Rothschilds told me no. So therefore I don't go to their meetings. But if I did, I'm thinking of going to the Spectre meetings next.
The Spectre meetings?
You saw James Bond, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, so I'm thinking about going to the Spectre meetings because my blue check mark also gets me in there. You wish you had a blue check mark. Then you could actually be the butterfly effect.
I wish.
I don't know how you do it.
I said one thing and you went off on it. That's all I did.
Because it was goofy.
I mean, to me, it makes sense.
You remind me of McLovin today. I missed McLovin on the Dan Patrick Show when I watched it on TV. That was a McLovin moment where you just took the whole show and went, boo. I do. You know what? Speaking of your nonsense.
Right.
I do need to let everybody know. We are going through some major renovations here in our studios.
That's right.
Like yesterday, I got lights.
You got lighting.
I think we look pretty good.
You definitely have a lot more visibility on you.
And it shows really how big my head is on the stream.
Our opening now makes sense.
My hair looks good. Lots of hair product today.
And luckily with our setup, the logo in my window prevents people from seeing my hair.
That's true. I did do that on purpose.
Yeah, and I appreciate you for it.
Somebody did yell at me, like, why are you making fun of his receding hairline? I thought it was very sincere. I didn't mock you, did I?
You didn't mock. You asked why it exists.
No, I asked how. I asked when it happened.
How and why it exists is probably the best way of putting it. But yeah, no, I didn't. It wasn't mocking.
It wasn't mocking. There's times I mock you, and that wasn't one of them. So
anyway, you were mocking me for the butterfly effect.
Because that's the stupidest thing I've heard all day.
Right.
So I do have this note here that they told me. I got to remind everybody. We are going to take Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday off of next week. Why are we taking those days off, Dragon Ball?
Because we are going to change the board.
Major renovation in this radio studio.
We are getting the new board.
People don't know what that means.
What that means, ladies and gentlemen, is I will have a lot more dials and knobs to play with. and I am so excited.
So we've been going through this upgrade, studio upgrade, equipment upgrade for about 6 months now. And the supply chain's made it tough. Waiting to get parts in, but we have everything. We've bench tested it. It's ready to go. We're gonna redo the whole. This is the first major remodel of this radio station in. Let's see, I left in 2004. I left in 2004. It's 2022. This is the original setup I had when I left. I only got to do one show out of the studio before I left.
That would be 18 years?
Yeah, we haven't had any major upgrades in 18 years. But we're going to get a major redo. We're going to get stuff that's actually top of the art, state of the art. It's going to change the whole radio station and how we bring you the games. So in order to do that, we have an army of workers coming in here to change everything in the studio that Dragon Ball sits in.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to be part of the construction crew.
I will either assist or I will hamper. It depends on what exactly they ask me to do.
I've got a big idea you're going to hamper.
I'm just hoping that we remember to turn off the breaker before I have to move the wires.
Hey, hold that.
Yeah. That's my concern. In which case, then I'll be gone for a lot longer than Monday to Wednesday.
Try wearing shoes with rubber soles. In case you touch a live wire.
I think I got some of those. Yeah.
In case you touch a live wire, the rubber soles, I think, help ground you.
They're supposed to.
Somebody turn off the breaker.
They're supposed to help. So I'll remember to do that before I come in Monday through Wednesday next week. But yeah, it'll be weird. We won't have any shows.
So Monday, Tuesday, they're installing all of our new equipment. Wednesday, I think, is training day for you.
Yep.
And then we're back on Thursday. So I just wanted to give everybody a heads up. I did take some vacation time, but I have to get out of the way for them to redo the radio station. It is going to be cool.
It'll be very, very fun, and I'm looking forward to all the new little gadgets and gizmos I'll be able to mess around with.
Okay. Coming up on the program, we need to walk through. I want to debate our brackets, Dragon Ball.
Yes.
You take the first one. You take the top seat. I'll take the bottom seat. And you and I are going to go through each of the brackets and make an argument over who people should vote for Tucson's Top Cat. We'll do that coming up next. I'm Rich Herrera. That is Mr. Butterfly himself. I'm just going to smack you. This is Wildcats Radio 1290. Rich Rare Radio Show rolls on. Those of you just getting off work, hello. How hot is it right now?
Right now, according to my phone, we're looking at about 102 degrees.
Right now.
Yeah, no.
Right now, or right now later?
According to my phone.
Right now.
According to my phone, it's 102 degree Fahrenheit.
Let's see. But what kind of phone do you have?
I've got an Android.
Yeah, that phone's garbage. According to my iPhone, it's much better. It's 101 degrees.
According to the AC controller that I am not allowed to touch in this room, it's sitting at 103 degrees.
Oh, no, actually, my phone says 103.
Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to trust the AC monitor.
So in the good part of town where I live, in Oro Valley, it's 101. Where you live, where the great unwashed masses, it's 103.
What's up, folks on Valencia?
Yeah, for those of you that live out in the hinterlands, it's 103.
Guess what?
Those of us that live in Oro Valley, where everything's just a little bit better, it's 101.
Yeah, guess what, man? It may be 102, 103 degrees outside, but just a little bit down the road at the casino, I can guarantee you that place is nice and air-conditioned.
Love it. All right. What do I got to do? We got to walk through the brackets because the bracket challenge, Tucson's Top Cat brackets are going on as we speak. We're down to the 16 last names, 16 names left.
The sweet 16.
So I want you take the first name.
Okay.
I'll take the second name, and then we'll decide. We'll figure out who is more worthy of being Tucson's Top Cat.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you got Steve Kerr. I take Barry Goldwater. Give me your arguments for Steve Kerr.
Just got done winning his 4th ring as a coach. He has 5 overall NBA championship rings to his name. He was a part of the first ever Wildcat team that was listed number 1 in the nation back when he was a player for the University of Arizona. And just to be honest, he can go ahead and be honest and say that he's a little hungover when he gets right off the plane.
Barry Goldwater, he actually represented Arizona when it was a territory.
Mm-hmm.
He was a 2-star general in the Air Force Reserve. He is an iconic legislator. He's an iconic Arizonan. He's known all over the United States and throughout history. It was a U.S. senator and a man that ran for president of the United States. It doesn't get much bigger than that.
That's a good one.
Okay. Next up. Oh, sorry. Wrong button I'm hitting here. Annika Sorenstam. I'll take Bob Dole.
Okay.
Go.
Annika Sorenstam, you're looking at a 72-time winner on the LPGA Tour. You're looking at one of the University of Arizona's greatest golfers, both male and female. And let's not forget, she is a multiple LPGA Tour Player of the Year. You're looking at 8 times she was LPGA Tour Player of the Year.
Do you have that she's a Hall of Famer?
Yep.
Okay. Bob Dole, American hero, Purple Heart winner, was savagely injured in World War II. Laid in a hospital bed for months at a time, years at a time, multiple surgeries. Went through the rest of his life without the use of his right arm. In fact, he used to have a pin in there just because he had absolutely no movement in that right arm, so people wouldn't try to shake hands with him and embarrass themselves because his right hand was completely useless through the majority of his adult life. Left the military, rehabbed, came to the University of Arizona where he studied, later went on to Kansas where he became a U.S. Senator. He was really one of the last statesmen we've ever had in this country and was also a presidential candidate, one of 2 men to come from the University of Arizona that ran for president of the United States, Bob Dole. Pretty impressive. I mean, you wouldn't go wrong with voting for either one of these.
No.
Right? Next up, you get JT Snow, I got Dan Hicks.
JT Snow, former major leaguer, a fantastic career in the majors and at the University of Arizona, was a part of a legendary play at the World Series where he pulled Dusty Baker's son, Darren, off of home plate before he got run over by the following teammates that were following him coming to home. And let's not forget, one Liz Herrera's favorite player.
Absolutely. Dan Hicks, NBC golf analyst, reporter, and host of the U.S. Open. like one of the majors. He is the main-bodied host. Olympics for NBC Sports. He's one of the most accomplished broadcasters of all time. I don't think you can go wrong voting for either one of those.
No, you can't.
Oh, this one's easy. You got Jenny Finch. I got Gronk. That's our next matchup.
Jenny Finch, 2004 gold medalist, University of Arizona softball. Fantastic career. Gold medal, as I said, in the Olympics in 2004. Took the silver medal in 2008. Has been the host of the Jenny Finch softball camps around the country. And let's not forget.
She has a Jenny Finch World Series.
Yes. And she has jennyfinch.com. She has her own website. That's almost better than a blue check mark.
No, it's not even the same category as a blue check mark on Twitter. All right, Gronk. He's the only Arizona Wildcat that we have right now that has his own song. Can you get that for me? The fact that we commissioned a song about Gronk pretty much tells you all you need to know about the 4-time Super Bowl champion party boy that made wearing flip-flops, board shorts, and a cut-off sleeve T-shirt fashionable in America for bros from coast to coast.
Touchdown, Gronkowski!
Yes, the University of Arizona. I was just falling in love with the place, the weather, Division I football, and, the pool parties.
Yeah, you better bear down for Brady's #1 guy. The Gronk is in town, yo soy fiesta is why.
Yo soy fiesta.
Gronkowski's coming to town.
Yo soy fiesta.
Gronkowski's coming to town. Gronkowski is coming to Tucson.
Awesome. Let's go check out the hot tub.
He's coaching the Cats. His rings sure look nice. He's a 4-time champ. They better take his advice.
Yo soy fiesta.
Gronkowski's coming to town.
Check out the showers.
Gronkowski's coming to town. Gronkowski is coming to Tucson.
Come on, let it go. I love this song.
He'll see you out at Dirtbags. He'll shut Brother John's right down. He'll pay your tabs and coach the Cats. He's shirtless, showing off his lats.
He's shirtless, showing off his lats.
Gronkowski has been gigantic in this game.
Who's getting wild tonight? That's what I'm talking about, baby.
Gronkowski's coming to town.
Yo soy fiesta.
Gronkowski's coming to town. Gronkowski is coming to Tucson.
Best line right here.
Mom, where are my football pants?
How do you argue with Gronk? Again, it's up to you, Tucson. Vote right now on WildcatsRadio1290.com for Tucson's Top Cat. The matchup this week, Jenny Finch versus Gronk. All right, next one. You take Jerry Bruckheimer. I got Chuck Cecil.
Jerry Bruckheimer, fantastic pedigree with his production and directing work. He has done stuff for the Top Gun series, both Top Gun 1 and Maverick. He's also been in the Pirates series, all the Pirates of the Caribbean movies he has done. He has also done all the Bad Boys series, Bad Boys 1, Bad Boys 2. He
never got slapped by Will Smith?
Never got slapped by Will Smith. This is true. Just happened to put Will Smith in maybe one of his more iconic roles in Hollywood history. And let's just say it, the man knows how to make a blockbuster.
Chuck Cecil, 102 yards. Do I say anything else? The man was so vicious on the football field, he retired because his fines for decapitating ball carriers was more than his paycheck. This man was so physical in the National Football League, they actually changed the rules of football because of him. There's only 2 people that I know of, Dragon Ball, in my life that I've ever heard this story of, that they were so dominant on the field that they changed the rules of the game. One was Lou Alcindor, that they outlawed the dunk in college basketball to make it even for everybody else. And number 2, Chuck Cecil was the man responsible for having spearing outlawed in the National Football League.
And some would say the NFL And defenders across the league are still suffering to this day.
All right, next, John Hughes versus Trevor Hoffman. Again, these are all the matchups that you have to vote for to see who's going to be Tucson's top cat. What do you got?
You've got a lot of great films from John Hughes that he helped bring about as a great writer. A lot of coming-of-age stories, Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Shake it up, baby, now.
Shake it up, baby. Weird
Twist
Science.
and shout.
He was also in charge of Weird Science. You've got, of course, the legendary Miracle on 34th Street. He actually did the screenplay for that.
Wait a minute, the original one?
1994.
No, that's the remake.
Oh, well. Far be it from me to not appreciate that, but you've also got
Pretty in Pink.
You've got the Pretty in Pink. You've got 16 Candles. You got Breakfast Club.
Home Alone.
You've got Mr. Mom.
Mr. Mom. Oh, Mr. Mom's a great movie.
National Lampoon's Vacation. And even some not so coming of age stories, but you also got stories like Uncle Buck.
Uncle Buck was great.
And Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. A lot of great John Candy films.
Those aren't pillows.
A lot of great John Candy films from John Hughes. So, needless to say, the man could write a fantastic script.
Trevor Hoffman, baseball Hall of Famer, one of the most dominant closers for the San Diego Padres. He was a former infielder, hurt himself surfing, body surfing, and ended up leaving, playing in the infield to becoming the most dominating closer of his time. That's all you got to say about Hoffy. You got Carl Eller, Sean Elliott.
Carl Eller.
You got Carl Eller.
Yeah.
You got Eller.
Circle K. That's all you got to say.
Sean Elliott. Local kid who's really the beginning of the dynasty and the kingdom that Lute Olson built was right there. He's the cornerstone of everything about the Arizona Wildcats.
Also won a couple world championships out in San Antonio, much
too.
like Steve Kerr.
That too. All right, Linda Ronstadt versus Terry Francona. Well, you can't just, are you cheating in there? Do I hear clickety-click? Are you looking these up? You're not doing these off the top of your head?
With Linda? No, I had to make sure I get these right because I don't know Linda off the top of my head. Linda's a little bit before my time, sadly.
She's iconic.
She's a little before my time, but I can tell you that
if you would leave the house now and then, you'd know who she was.
Linda Ronstadt has 11 Grammys to her name. She's one of the more fantastic vocal recording artists of her era. She collaborated with a multitude of different stars during her time. Dolly Parton, Bette Midler, Frank Zappa.
Nelson Riddle Orchestra.
Mm-hmm.
Blue Bayou is one of the legendary rock and roll songs of all time. She's responsible for the Eagles because Glenn Fry and Don Henley were actually in her backup band, and they played so well they came to her going, hey, we're thinking about starting our own band, which became the Eagles. Her influence was on the Eagles.
She's the one that we can say thank you
for the long run.
For the long run, yep.
Terry Francona, Golden Spikes winner, University of Arizona, played in the big leagues, hurt his knee early on, never really realized his potential. But then he had an opportunity to coach and manage, and he made the most of it because he did the one thing that nobody thought would ever be done, and that is
the curse of the Bambino
is no longer. The fact that he's the one. 1918 was the last time the Boston Red Sox had ever won the World Series. How many Hall of Famers came and went through Fenway Park and they could never win it all? Until Tito Francona took over the Boston Red Sox and led them to a World Series winner. And women and men wept.
In the streets of Boston.
Boston.
There were tears.
Boston. Wicked awesome.
Wicked awesome.
All right, go to wildcatsradio1290.com and you can vote today. Today's program is brought to you in part by QC Kinetics. If you suffer from joint pain, it sucks. You know, right now it's the most active season of the year. But if you got joint pain, you can't live like you want to. You know, for me, I like to go for a little walk, go swimming, just enjoy living in Tucson because it's one of the best places in the world to live. if you got hip pain and knee pain and back pain and shoulder pain, it just sucks the fun out of living here in Tucson. You don't get to enjoy the outdoors. You don't get to enjoy the summers and the falls when it's gorgeous, and you don't get to enjoy it when you're calling your friends laughing because they're living in 10 feet of snow and you're walking around in shorts. Tucson's an active community because the weather's so great here. But you know what? We've got fantastic news for you because QC Kinetics is right here helping people get the fun back of living in Tucson with advanced regenerative treatments from local medical professionals. Regenerative medicine is the hottest thing going. So basically, it's taking growth factors with healing properties from your own body, highly concentrated, and then putting them into your aching joints. This exciting in-office non-surgical treatment can repair and restore damaged tissue in your joints, giving you real lasting relief from pain. QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in these cutting-edge, all-natural options. The patient satisfaction reports are incredible. They have over 100 clinics nationwide, including one right here in Tucson. Yes, you could get real relief from pain. No surgery, no drugs, and that's so important. No drugs and no downtime. So stop putting it off. Call QC Kinetics now and learn more about regenerative medicine and get a totally free in-office consultation. Call QC Kinetics right now, 520-497-4955. That's 520-497-4955. QC Kinetics Academy in Orange Grove. Here's their number, 520-497-4955. Coming up, the big stories of the day. That's next on 1290. Ooh, hamburger sounds good. All right. What are the big stories of the day? 2 Wildcats are predicted to go in the first round of the NBA draft coming up tomorrow. Right now, consensus has it, and don't listen to Dragon Ball, says everyone's going to get traded in the first round. Media. But don't look at me like that. You're a member of the media.
I suppose I'm the one with I'm the one that has to look up all the stuff as it happens, so I guess I kind of am.
Yeah, you're the media.
This is fair.
You did correct me, though. On the Trevor Lawrence, he didn't lose his NFL signing bonus. It was his endorsement money that he invested in crypto.
Yes.
I'm going to buy you some crypto.
No.
And I'm going to give it to you.
Don't waste your money, and don't attempt to ask me to waste mine.
I'm going to buy some crypto and hand it to you and then make you hold on to it.
Buy like 5 cents. Like, that's all that's worth.
Oh, I'm going to go big.
No,
I'm a baller.
No.
I'm a big baller.
It ain't worth that.
And then when it becomes a bunch of money, they're going to laugh at you.
It's not going to.
All right. Here's what there was a story earlier today that everybody got wrong. ESPN, CBS, everybody else had. Trevor Lawrence lost his signing bonus in the crypto market, but it turns out he has an endorsement with a crypto company, and he lost his endorsement money. About 60% of it has gone away.
And I remembered now what the economy was that I was talking about, the flower economy thing. It was the tulip mania of Holland.
They wear wooden shoes. I'm not going to follow them.
Yeah, right. But this was their economy back in like the early 1600s.
They wear. Okay. Do you know how uncomfortable a wooden shoe would be?
I mean, a wooden shoe is uncomfortable.
Do you know how many blisters and splinters you'd get if you wore wooden shoes in Tucson? I'm not following them.
Well, no, this is absolutely right. And this is why you should also not follow crypto, because it is just this generation's tulip economy.
Or wooden shoes. How'd you like to be one of those guys? Would you like those sneakerheads that buy like the new Jordans and then bubble wrap them and never look at them and then pull them out and hope 10 years from now they're going to be worth $5 million?
No, because no shoe is worth that.
What's the most you've ever paid for a pair of shoes?
$20. I refuse to pay that much for shoes.
You're just a curmudgeon.
No, it's just if I'm going to be wearing something that's going to be on the ground primarily, why would I spend a lot of money on it? It's going to
you could be cool like me.
It's going to look old and busted within the day.
And also, it's hard for you to find cool shoes that
don't have laces.
Don't have laces. All right. Anyway, the consensus has Benedict Mathurin going to the Pacers at number 6. Dalen Terry's kind of anywhere projected from 17 by CBS Sports to the Rockets, 21 to the Nuggets on ESPN. So we'll have a lot of reasons to watch tomorrow to see Christian Coloco, latest mock draft I could have, because most of them don't go in the second round. Blazers taking him at 36. I saw some earlier, like a month ago, I was getting all excited because it had him going to the Warriors at the end of the first round.
Right.
Because they need a big man.
They could use one. I don't know if they need one. We just saw that they don't necessarily need one per se.
That's true.
But
they are champions.
They are champions.
What else is a big story? What else is a big story today? Stanley Cup final going on right now. Lightning, who had been awful in the first game and worse in the second game. Are people screaming outside?
Yeah, I don't know what that is. That's a loud one, but yeah, something's going on outside.
Hey, we're trying to do a radio show in here. Can you guys please be quiet? Who's out there yelling?
I don't know. It's someone talking to, I think, Cricket over there.
Hey, you're interrupting our radio show over here. Listen, Pally.
Oh, it's fine.
No, it's just another. I finally get to use my bullhorn. Pardon me. We're doing a radio show in here. Can you please be quiet out there in the hallway? Can they hear me?
I don't know. I don't think so. They're still in their conversation.
Anyway, 1-0. Lightning leading right now in the Stanley Cup final, correct?
Like you said, yeah, they've been bad the first 2 games in Colorado, but now they're...
John Cooper, I told you there's a reason. I have a man crush on him.
Well, yeah.
I told you there's a reason. I have a man crush on John Cooper and the Tampa Bay Lightning. You know they have it's not a Tesseract, but it's like a Tesla machine. They have a lightning machine in there.
Okay. Tesseract is a very different thing. That's the thing from Marvel.
Marvel.
If they had a Tesseract in Tampa,
cool.
That would be a dangerous
That's the reason
thing.
why they have 2 championships started like. No, they've got a lightning machine.
Right.
That makes
Tesla coil,
a Tesla coil. That's what it is, Tesla coil. And when Vinnick, the owner, they took him to Chicago, and there was the only one in the country to go, that's really cool. I want one of those. They said, okay, we're going to put it in the one side of the arena. And he goes, but what about the people on the other side of the arena? They go, well, they won't be able to see it because of the scoreboard. He goes, then I want 2.
That's fair.
So he bought 2, so he has one on each side.
Everybody gets one.
That's kind of cool. Let's see. What else is a big story of the day? Sad news. Tony Siragusa passed away at the age of 55. Mm-hmm. This is a tough week for the Ravens. They lost
Jalen
Ferguson earlier this week as well.
I want to say it was roughly the same day because I want to say that the news for Jalen Ferguson just broke
yesterday when the show was over.
Yeah.
Last night when the show was over, and then the news on Tony Siragusa, and he was just 55 years old.
Yeah.
Beloved by everybody. He was kind of the Art Donovan, who was the old Baltimore player that everybody loved because of his colorful personality. And then Siragusa came along. Same thing, longtime broadcaster at Fox. So just kind of.
And as someone who saw that defense twice a year, I will tell you this. As much as people will be glowingly respectful for Ray Lewis and Rod Woodson and Chris McAllister and that defense and that Super Bowl, that defense started and was only as good as their 2 defensive tackles, Siragusa and Sam Adams. No one's running up the middle on that. That's almost 600
those
plus
are some
pounds.
space eaters right there.
Those are 600-pounders.
All right, that's today's big stories. All right, it's Wildcat Wednesday. We went back in the Wayback Machine and had our conversation with Reggie Gary. It's pretty cool. He talks about being recruited by Lute Olson. That's coming up next here on 1290.